can't, without that commitment of the $500,000 into the county's resources, I don't think we can go any further, and I would ask the commission to take a vote on that.
And to clarify, that money is not for the county resources now, it would be just like a bond would be on, but it'd be with the county, it would go in a special account for the bond, and it's accountable, so it'd be returnable.
I mean, if a bond would be acceptable for that I believe we could reach. It's just the cash bonds.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we put down a percentage and then they give us a bond, you know.
yeah, I understand. I think we're looking for a cash bond, however. But I think what you could do is try to persuade the board at this time to, just like you were doing, to get that letter out so you can start drilling to get the other investment money. Because then your chances of success of getting that $500,000 within 30 days goes up.
Yeah, we have investors, we're investor backed, and they've just been waiting and waiting. And I know we get the letter and we get that well drilled, and we can uphold our obligations, we will get that bond for you, get the cash bond.
James, what amount of a cash bond could you cut a check for today? I mean, even if it's, even if it's a small amount, at least it's something. What could you do today?
I could write a check for $100,000 for you today, sir.
Well, that's better than nothing for sure.
So
I don't know, I don't know, we're still gonna have to figure this out, but that's where the rubber is, it's the road.
Jared, we're looking at item number 1, releasing a letter of approval from us saying we have no objections. We released that letter. Is that the only thing standing in the way from that oil rig operating right now?
No. No, there's still state requirements to be met, as well as BLM's requirements to be met to be within conformance of that APD.
Yeah,
and they're working on that.
I've spoken to Lowell Price, he is fine with the well, the downhole. I've spoken to Kelly at NEPA, I've spoken to, at the Sept rather, and I know that NEPA was out there just to check the engines to see what if they were in compliance with the emissions. And geez, I haven't seen any overwhelming objections. They're just concerned about the roads that were damaged outside of our access. And as I gave an agreement to Mike, Energex had signed, they were aware of it, they signed an agreement that they wouldn't go off of these roads on the access. That was our requirement, and we're certainly, we have to be able to get in and out of this road, and that's why I went to the effort to bond it with the BLM. My understanding was that it was bonded with the BLM, and we were just fine. And, we put up $100,000 for that bond, and, I'm willing to continue on, and we're absolutely committed to getting this well drilled for the county. I might add that it's a significant, project for the country and for this county. And, let me get that well drilled, get it producing, and the investors will do the bond, we can get it done.
So I'd like to make a motion on number 1 that when James gives $100,000 and the finance office has it verified, check is cleared, that bond, that we release this letter that we are fine with them drilling. We still have the $500,000 and 30 days in place, but at a future meeting, we'll have to bring this up again and see where we're at.
So the other 400.
Where we're at on the 400. The reason I make this is I'd rather have $100,000 than 0 for the county. I mean, it's definitely not, it's a drop in the bucket, but it's something. It's something. If we stick to 500, we have nothing.
And then the letter goes out saying they're in compliance with their local ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
And a satisfactory arrangement for our roads.
And then once again, the letter gets triggered when the $100,000 bond is in our hands.
I would agree with that.
That's a motion?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Let's, because I'm unclear, we bounced from 2 to 1.
Correct, we're in one.
So, okay, I want to just,
It's already approved, already done.
So the 500,000 30 days is still in the trough, so to speak.
In fact, they have a road agreement in place because you voted on number 2. So long as James signs it, then we're all in agreement.
And then we'll revisit at a future meeting that requirement, and if James is drilling and everything again, and he can get that money, or if we have to work with them a little more. But at least I think this is probably the best way to kind of bridge the gap here.
I'll
For the
se-
letter.
I'll second that and hold it for discussion. I have a couple of questions for Jared. Okay. And James, what type of time frame do you think it would be to rectify those issues? We send the letter, but as Jared stated from BLM, there are still some issues before they go ahead and let your driller drill. So do we have some type of, I mean, how big are those hurdles? Can that be done in a realistic?
My understanding is the only issue that Kelly has expressed to me is that they're concerned about, in particular, the road, which is the
Update, yeah, discussion, update, possible action.
Okay, that being said, and no other public comment, I'll look for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Excuse me.
Oh, please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Lori, I want to thank you for asking these folks to speak up. You have a road superintendent sitting right next to a speaker. I don't know what you pay for the sound system, but you better tweak it up. You also need a gooseneck here, something that's flexible. You're not doing that. Not all the speakers can be heard clearly. Mr. Chairman, I reported to you in the past that the new parking lot for the convention center is close to being completed. Center walkway has not been put back in, does not meet minimum ADA requirements for the handicap. They're being forced to the street, which could be hazardous, especially for those in a wheelchair. This is new construction and is mandated to meet minimum federal ADA requirements. Told you more than once. It appears that one of the lights involved in the renovation is located on the corner of 7th and Lyons and was installed on private property. That can't be done. We either have rules and regulations or we don't. You may want to check the bond on these people. You're worried about this mining and drilling company. It's the same. Your building inspector is not doing his job. I've been months trying to get a building permit, which I'm willing to pay for, and he's hanging me up, and so are you indirectly. Mr. Chairman, I want to encourage the commission to solicit a newspaper that is fair and balanced and doesn't discriminate and does not take one's money under false pretenses, committing fraud. I paid for an ad back in April. I've been waiting since then. I don't want you folks doing business with me. If they cannot adhere to the rules and regulations, the policies they have, and selectively print or not print letters to the editor, or take advertisements, they need to go. And you need to address that. That's all I have at this time, sir. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Is there any other public comment? Okay.
Yep, for the record, Elizabeth Francis, Finance Director for White Pine County. I just wanted to let you know that our Small Business Assistance Program through the CARES Act will be open for applications starting September 8th. And we will be moving forward to that program, and I just wanted to put that under public comment so everybody would be aware. There will be an announcement in the paper this Friday, and it's out on the website, so that people can start evaluating what they need to get to apply for that funding. But anyways, good news, it's moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Elizabeth for the extraordinary amount of work she put into getting that program put together. And as usual, she's done just a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other public comment? Hearing none and seeing none, we're gonna ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Shane. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passed unanimously. Thank you all very much.
All right.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chatchis reporting.